Hey, this is Life with Shauna Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is called College Roommate Narcissist. Let's watch the video.
Heartbreak ain't got shit on when you first find out that bitch you was.
Boom, sophomore year of college. I lived in the dorms. I lived in a suite. I had a roommate, but the people that were living next to us in the room, like right next door to us, it was two of them in there. So one of the girls, when we first met, we kind of like clicked instantly. Like we became friends. Like we would smoke together. We would eat together. Like we would complain about the other girls together because they were just weird. So like sometimes they would be dirty and we would be complaining about them. We just kind of like hit it off. So in college, like my parents, like, they made sure that I was okay. They made sure I was good. So they was always like buying me groceries or like sending me money for groceries, all types of stuff. So because me and this girl became so cool, I'm talking about cool to the point where we would do every single thing together. We would go to class together. We would ride the shuttle bus together. We would go to the grocery stores together. We would go everywhere together. Like that's how, over a course of time, how close we got. My parents would buy me groceries or send me money for groceries. I would buy food. I would cook for the both of us. Make sure we both eat. I go out to get something to eat for dinner. I'm making sure, hey, you good? You need something to eat? All different types of stuff. I got my refund check. All right, cool. We going out to dinner. Like, it's on me. Don't worry. I got it. Like, type thing. That's how, close we was together. She knew how to roll. I didn't know how to roll. Like, she taught me how to roll and everything. Like, we were like this. To the point where, like, I think, like, the other suite mates did something to us. Like, I don't know. Like, they just irritated us so bad. We were like, all right. So we went to, like, the head, like, RA person. Like, we got our rooms changed. Like, so we moved out of that suite and then moved in together. So we moved out, moved in together in our own suite. Like, in a different suite, but we were roommates at this point in time. So once again, still really close, really tight. Do every single thing together. So like I even at the time I was working at H&M, like she was like she needed a job. I was like, all right, I got you. I went to the people. It was like, my friend, like, can y'all hire my friend? They hired my friend and everything, got her a job, whole works. So now we really like we're working together. We already live together. Like it's cool. So one day, like she leaves. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to, like, my cousin's house, which wasn't, random because I had met her cousin before. She goes there or whatever. So she's like, I'm going to my cousin's house. I'm like, all right, cool. Hours go by. She doesn't come back. I'm like, all right, well, I'll try to text her. I text her. She doesn't answer. Next day, still doesn't come back. Like, nothing. So she's gone, like, at this point, she's been gone for, like, almost, like, 2 days now. So at this point, I'm starting to get nervous because I'm like, I haven't heard from her. My messages aren't delivering. Like, nothing. Like, I'm nervous at this point because I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if something happened to her? Like, even because like I said, she's been to her cousin's house before, but she always like would like text me back or call me back or whatever like that. But she didn't do that this time. So I started to get nervous. So I had her location, even though like the location, it was showing like from however many hours ago that her phone was like on or whatever. So I'm like, okay, like what if she's in trouble? So you know what I do? I'm like, I gotta go get her. I gotta go find her. I gotta go make sure she's okay. So I tell my other friends, I'm like, y'all, I'm about to go pull up on this address. Like, they're like, I don't know if you should do that. I'm like, but what if like something's wrong? Like, whatever, but I'm gonna stay on the phone with y'all the whole time. So I get my little sock, I stuff a bunch of stuff in it, just in case I need a weapon, and I'm out. So I Uber to the address and like, it's just like this like house. So then I knock on the door. I walk up to the door. I knock on the door. I'm like, hi, it's so-and-so here. Da, 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 da. So then it's like an older lady at the door. She goes and calls somebody else. And then I guess next thing you know, my friend comes to the door. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, I haven't heard from you. She's like, yeah, like, I'm fine. I'm like, well, what, like, where are you? Like, whose house is this? Like, are you okay? Like, she's like, yeah, like, let me just get my stuff and we can go. So I'm like, all right, cool. Whatever. So she grabs her stuff. We go, we get in the car. So I get her, we are in the Uber, we get back to our dorm room. So I'm like asking her, I'm like, yeah, like, who is that guy? Like, like, how do you know him? Da da da. She was like, yeah, like, I met him like I think she said she met him somewhere or whatever, and they started like texting or whatever. And so she went over there, and then she was like, I was like, well, why didn't you tell me like where you were going? She was like, yeah, he told me not to tell anybody like where I was going and da 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 da. And I'm like, that's weird. She was like, yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, that's like really weird. Like how do you know this? But she was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to see him again. Like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, she's like, yeah, because he was acting like strange or whatever. And, I was just, he said that he was going to give me some money, da da da. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, boom. Fast forward. Weeks later, like, she's like back on her disappearing act. Like she's disappearing. And at this point, like I'm already hip. So I know you obviously is with homeboy. Since like I already told you that I thought he was like weird, whatever. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So she continues to like hang out with him. So at this point, like the girl's not coming home. She's not going to class. Like she's not nothing. Then one day, like she basically like fake goes like missing. Like her mom hasn't heard from her. Like, but at this point, like I'm kind of like over her because like like I'm over, I'm done. Like I've been through the same thing over and over for weeks and weeks and weeks. So at this point I'm over it. But one day, like the public safety people like basically come to like my door and they're like, yeah, like have you seen her? Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, no, I haven't seen her in like God knows how long or whatever. They're like, okay, well, if she comes back, like let us know. Like, basically we're looking for her. So basically like the girl, like I guess she's not answering her mom, like she's not doing nothing, like whatever. But keep in mind, anytime she would come home, I'd be like, yeah, like I don't think it's right for you to like. I still was telling her how I thought this man was weird. So after all of that, boom, one day she magically pops up home. So all right, cool, she pops up home and she's basically saying like, I'm so sorry, like I feel like I neglected you as a friend, like I'm so sorry, like I feel like she was like, I was talking to my mom. This is when we came back from Christmas break, by the way. So she was like, I was talking to my mom because I went home for Christmas break and I was talking to my mom and she was telling me about how I was wrong for like, how I've been like treating you and stuff like that. And, yada, yada, yada. And like, I want us to like, get back to where we was and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, like cool, because at this point, like, I'm not over, like, we still cool. We still friends. That's still my girl. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then she gives me like some like old like jackets, like sweaters or whatever that she could no longer fit because she was bigger than me, by the way. So she gives me like some old jackets and stuff that she could no longer fit. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like that's so nice, whatever. So I'll take the jackets. So then after that, once again, another disappearing act. She's gone, like haven't seen her, whatever. So
first of all, you are going out of your way. I know you care about your friend. You're trying to do a lot for your friend. Or sometimes people just don't want to be helped. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like this video is so, like, you helping her, she not caring about you, and then she just trying to, like, change up and go missing and ghost you and then come back and ghost you again. It's like an ongoing cycle. Has anyone gone through anything like this? Like, friendship that you've been friends with somebody and then they ghost you and then they, do all this extra stuff? Like, comment below. I'd love to know about it. I want to know your story times. Alright, let's watch the next part. I'm going to do part 2 after this. So this is Life with Shauna Renee. I'm out. Bye.